called. So public delegations,
There are none.
a director's report.
Give him 1 minute. Just 1 moment while we adjust the camera. There we go. Okay. I'm going to give this not in any particular order, but just what I have. And once I'm done, please ask me any questions that you have. I want to start off with that we have 7 staff so far that have been able to successfully install the Zscaler program, which is our VPN alternative. We have several more with tickets in, waiting to work with the state to get that installed in their computers. We currently have 4 staff out due to medical guidance, either because they have symptoms or at high risk regarding the COVID-19. And we currently have 1 staff member who has remained out on FMLA on an unrelated matter, and she's out through April 30th. I had each of the units give me an update as to how they were doing for benefits. The supervisor, Karen Washington, is reporting that the team approach is working well for them. They have 3 teams of 6, and they have the ability to process all the program applications, renewals, interim reports for all of our programs. The first 2 days back in the office were overwhelming due to the volume of expedited SNAP applications and the fact that only 1 worker of Team A reported the first day. However, due to the help of other team members who volunteered to come in, plus the fact that Spotsy and Stafford were able to help us with our applications, we were back on track by the end of the week in processing expedited SNAP applications. Responsibilities have been assigned to all workers, including Ms. Washington, the supervisor, so that everyone knows what their focus is in moving forward. For services, the supervisor, Olivia Dillon, reported also that the rolling teams are working well for her unit. They are rotating an agency phone to cover intake, which includes child protective services, adult protective services, and any emergency needs. On-call for child protective services and adult protective services continues as usual. No real change in that because that's always an at-home duty. They haven't had any challenges in making required face-to-face visits. They haven't had any challenges in meeting the response times for child protective services or adult protective services. They are still working, as is everyone, on getting their technology where it needs to be, and they have contacts with the state on that. Our admin unit, their primary focus is on file clearing applications and issuing the EBT vault cards. There is a backlog in the file clearing that they're working on. The mail is also behind. Services staff are volunteering to help admin staff getting this done. Unfortunately, none of the admin staff have been able to successfully install the Zscaler app just yet. We're working on it. Staff who are working from home have been working on clearing the voice messages so that we're able to contact clients as they need. Can I answer any questions on that? All right. If there are no questions on that, I'd like to move on to our 1 item of new business of our compensation plan. This is a plan that we complete annually and that you as a board review and approve so that we can send it on to the state. Sent that out ahead of time. I'm not going to go over it in great detail. I put in my email when I send it out, but I will reiterate that any requests that we have made that are above and beyond normal operations will be dependent on state and local funding that's given to us, so it's all contingent on that. And to,
were you given the idea how much local funding this was required?
I don't have that figure in front of me, no.
Wendy, it was $700 and some thousand. I don't remember the exact amount.
Thank you.
And above what we're currently at.
Okay.
I want to say it was about $40,000 above what we have this year. But again,
And we didn't have the final numbers from the state to know what they were giving us.
Okay, because we're going through budget drills now. I don't know if anybody saw the last board meeting. You know, we're looking at probably an initial loss of around $2 million and probably a total overall annual loss of about $1 million. So we're looking real hard at the budget. Just look at what you think you need, because I'm going to say that that's going to be a tough number.
I can tell you, Mr. Seeley, that what is in the county's current draft of our budget is less than what we requested. So obviously, if the state doesn't come up with the difference, none of this is going to come into play.
Okay. I'm just trying to give everybody a heads up so that you're not caught flat-footed later with the state gives you money and then you need 20 or 30,000 from the county, because I don't know how we're looking at budgets now,
Right.
even the
Well, that's
two-year
understood.
budget. Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Wendy?
I don't have anything. Does anyone have any other questions?
And then we move on to the disaster contingency plan.
We'll need to do a motion on the
Oh,
copy.
I'm sorry. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that they be received and adopted as presented to us.
A second. It's been motioned by Ms. Betty Johnson and second by
Betty
Brown.
I'm
Betty
sorry,
Brown.
Betty Brown, and second by Ms. Joyce Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The disaster contingency plan?
Yes. The contingency plan is also an annual plan that we present to the board for review and approval each year. As I indicated in the email in sending it, this plan is clearly focused around a disaster that limits our access to the building. It obviously doesn't address some of the issues that come up during a situation such as this, a pandemic. So we would like to continue with this contingency plan, and then when we are on the other side of this public health crisis, we will take all the lessons and best practices we have learned from this and either create an amended plan or an additional plan that would be for this particular type of disaster.
Question.
Yes.
This was the first time we have ever been through a disaster plan like this, isn't it?
Do you mean, is this the first time we've had to enact the disaster plan?
Yes. We may have with the flu and some other things, but
right.
not as strong as this was.
The only thing that was even remotely similar in my immediate memory was the agency's response to Hurricane Isabel when we were opening. The agency was closed. We were opening a shelter. We had to do the disaster SNAP program, but we had access to our building once the power was on. So it really wasn't anything like this. And even back with the influenza issue, what was that, 2009? I can't remember, I'm sorry. That didn't end up with us having to really do that much different. So we're in uncharted waters.
Okay, I agree with you on that this is uncharted water, something we have never been through before.
Correct.
And
The
hope we don't
last
have to.
pandemic was in 1918, I believe.
Okay.
So no, I haven't managed through one before.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Is there a motion to accept? Do we,
I make a motion, we accept the contingency plan that's given to us.
I'll second it.
okay. It's been motioned by Joyce
Joyce.
Johnson and second by Betty Brown. Okay, anything else, Wendy?
Do you need to do a vote?
Oh, I'm
please?
sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
all right,
That's all I have.
that's all you have? All right, any comments from the board? If there are no comments, then this meeting will be adjourned.